Now to the latest on the legal troubles involving former President Trump and his handling of classified materials. More information has been released from the Mar-a-Lago search warrant. It shows federal agents became concerned about the whereabouts of some documents after viewing security camera footage. We should point out an attorney for Trump did not respond to a request for comment last night. For more, we're joined by NBC News legal analyst Danny Cevallos. Danny, good morning. So the affidavit says that the security camera footage from Mar-a-Lago showed Trump ate walled nata, moving boxes out of a storage area. What could evidence like this mean for the case?
Video evidence from the beginning was always going to be important in this case, as it is increasingly in criminal cases everywhere. And sure enough, you have video apparently showing Walt Nauta moving these boxes of documents. Then what the prosecutors need to prove is what Walt Nauta knew and when he knew it. But if they have him moving documents, that gives them the physical aspect of many of the alleged crimes, which is concealing these documents. That's one of the magic words in one of the statutes with which Nauta and Trump are charged. So going from here, the next question is, well, who else moved documents? Who else knew about them? And the reality is those people are not named in the indictment. They may show up as cooperating witnesses. They may have provided evidence to the government. But what's interesting here is this begins to answer the question of all the potential defendants out there, of all the people in Trump's orbit, why this previously unknown person, Walt Nauta, why is he Trump's co-defendant in this indictment?
And as you know, Nauta was charged last month along with Trump in this 38-count indictment. He's expected to be arraigned today in Florida after a delay. So let's talk where his case goes from here. How much is it tied to Trump's case? And if he is convicted, what's the punishment he could face?
He's a co-defendant. It's directly tied to Trump's case. And I think this is particularly interesting, the fact that Walt Nauta has not yet been arraigned, and here's why. Walt Nauta, all indications are that he is aligned with Trump in lockstep. They are co-defendants and probably are under a joint defense agreement, although I don't know. But at this point, to what degree Walt Nauta has loyalty to Trump? He's apparently still working for him. This may change as the case drags on over the months. And this case is not going to trial in this calendar year, in my opinion. In theory, it could. It's just not likely to happen. So as time drags on, Walt Nauta may reevaluate continuously whether or not he wants to be a co-defendant and go to trial with Donald Trump. This kind of disparate treatment, in other words, that Trump already has his lawyers and has been arraigned, but Walt Nauta, for whatever reason, doesn't have a lawyer and wasn't arraigned until at least now. So what does that say about Walt Nauta? At what point does he say, hey, why don't I have the same treatment as my co-defendant? Is he really in my corner? These are the kinds of things that may affect whether Walt Nauta decides down the road he wants to approach prosecutors for a deal or he wants to stick it out and go all the way to the bitter end, which is a trial, a very public trial, perhaps the most important, notorious trial in American criminal history.
And real quick, I want to talk about that trial. We initially thought it could be in August. That always seemed unlikely. Now we know special counsel Jack Smith, he's requesting it start in December. Real quick, this is not surprising, is it?
Not at all. And this is just one example of the dozens of different reasons why a trial, even a federal trial, and federal court moves a lot faster than state court, but even in federal court, when you have a case like this that involves very sensitive documents, a very important defendant, a defendant that you have to essentially shut down the courthouse to even have a simple appearance like an arraignment. So all of these things will contribute to the delay of this case, and we haven't even gotten into the defendant's dispositive motions that he will file to try and throw the case out in its entirety. Those motions have to be briefed. They have to have a response, a reply. The judge has to consider them, and that's totally up to the judge. She can take as long as she wants. This case is not going to trial this year. It may not even go to trial next year.
And that would be the election year. So, all right, Danny, thank you so much. I always appreciate your analysis.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.